And we are so excited to have you on tonight to share about Tronite with you. So, Nicolette, let me tell you guys about my friend Nicolette, who's going to kick us off and share about these amazing products and this opportunity. She has been in the network marketing industry for over a decade. She is a mom of two kids who was a little bit socially awkward and never thought about doing network marketing. Like it wasn't going to be her thing. She wasn't going to do this thing until and she said still is a little I disagree. I've hung out with her in person. She's definitely not now. um but she was like so many of you. How many of you are on here right now and you're like, I'm not even sure about this thing, just not even sure? Like put a one in the chat, right? Because I was you too. Nicolette was you. But she got into this industry. She's earned well over $1 million in her time in this industry. She is a top leader in our profession. She is one of the kindest women you'll ever get to hang out with and spend time with. And she prioritizes her health and her business. And so, no better person to kick us off tonight and share about these incredible products and this opportunity than Miss Nicolette Anderson. Nicolette, take it away.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm going to screen share because we have some lovely slides. I'm a visual person, so I love a good, pretty slide. So that's what I've got for you on here. And we are going to get moving. I'm so excited that all of you are here. This is going to be, yes, that is the right screen. Can everyone see the screen? Give me a thumbs up if you could see. Okay, cool. Thank you. So tonight's overview is special because this is in alignment with this very special Power of One campaign that our team is fully invested in this week, where we are watching in real time the ripple effect that takes place when the average ordinary human being who's committing to leveling up in life inspires just one more person into action, into change. And so I'm curious. Type a one in the chat if you are not an associate yet and you're here to learn about this business. Let's see who all is on here. Okay, this chat moves so fast. I love it. Like Tina said, there's going to be a giveaway at the end, so pay attention to the words because it's a little trivia style. And I hope you guys listen with an open mind and stay curious as we share something that's super special tonight, because this could be a very pivotal moment in your life. Just like a presentation very similar to this was in my life not too long ago. So let's go ahead and get started. What if you could turn your wellness routine and your social media scroll into a paycheck? And I remember thinking that to myself 10 years ago and immediately disqualifying myself and saying, yeah, but there's no way I could ever be one of those online people who are like influential and make money by talking about products. Are you kidding me? I can't do that. I just had my first baby and I was on maternity leave, which fortunately was leading me up to summertime. I was a teacher and I knew I didn't want to go back to work. And I remember this mirror at the bottom of my stairs, and I would walk by it all the time. Anytime I went down the stairs, anytime I went from one room into the kitchen, sometimes I'd be carrying around my baby girl and we'd stop and we'd make funny faces in the mirror. And sometimes I would stand in that mirror, stare at my reflection, and pick myself apart. And a lot of times, that reflection was the only human interaction that I would get in a day. And one day I realized that when I looked in that mirror, something was missing. And I actually looked sad and I wasn't myself. And I was so fed up with feeling that way because these were precious moments in life. And I found myself sad, right? I was adjusting to motherhood. I was about to find out I was pregnant again with my son. And without knowing what network marketing actually was, I started looking into it in an effort to just kind of find something for me. So this picture right here on the screen, this is the legend who said yes to network marketing. The hormones all over the place, weight she didn't know how to lose. She's the one who said yes and went on to build a 7-figure empire. Listen, I knew nothing. I knew no one. I had no social media following, but I wanted to learn. I was not your poised social put together person who had friends and, went to lunches and things like that and took great selfies, but I wanted to learn. And I love that this is a business where you can learn as you go. And you can become exactly the person that you want to be, right? It will wait for you. You can learn. Little by little, I started to become her, the person that I wanted to be, that entrepreneurial soul that was living inside of me somewhere. She started to break free, and anyone can do that. Now, here's how bad I was in the beginning. I was so mortified at talking to other humans, especially with that postpartum anxiety. My neighbor invited me over to her house, and she ended up selling me on like $500 of essential oils. And I never once told her that I was also in a business. I didn't even tell her that I had products too, because I just felt so weird about it. But you know what I could do? I could make some social media posts and put them online and then go scream into a pillow because I felt weird about it. But I was going to do it anyway. I could send out friend requests to other mamas who had maybe kids the same age as me, other teachers, friends of friends from high school, college. I could do that in my spare time. I could start conversations and get good at talking to people and making friends while hiding under my comforter in bed, doing it all from my phone, right? And that's what I did. That's how I started. I used products. I was passionate. And as I learned more about them, I was able to provide more value online. As I learned tips and things that were working for me on my journey to reach my goals, I was able to share more with others. If I was inspired by a quote or a story or a testimonial, I would share that too. Slowly but surely, business began to grow. And the more I put myself out there, raw, vulnerable, the more I inspired others to get into action and start living healthier with me while earning income online, because every day I was the proof that if I could do it, so can you. And it wasn't because I started off perfect. It was because I started before I was even ready. And I let people on the journey with me, and they saw someone real and relatable who was willing to share her struggles and goals, where she was going, and the plans from the very beginning so that they knew they could come with me. And that's what starting your business looks like. It doesn't look like having 1.1 million followers, an entire closet of color coordinated Lululemon, and six-pack abs. Although, I mean, I'd say yes to that if someone offered it, but that's not what it looks like to be able to successfully start a business. It looks like someone real with a story to share, goals for their life, who's willing to help other people along the way. So if you're willing to be that person, that beacon of potential, a better way, a health and wealth opportunity where you can turn your wellness routine and your social media scroll into a paycheck, if you're willing to help others, then you've got what it takes. You can do this. You're in the right place. So we are going to dig into some products. I am going to pass it back over to Tina Joy Carroll, who is a Red Diamond leader in Trinot. And this woman, she takes servant leadership to the next level. It's a gift to be a part of her team and to be able to learn from her on a daily basis. And what she has built with this company is beyond incredible. The amount of income she brings in for her family is goals, but it is not for nothing. Tina has mentored countless people in this business to help them create real success through this opportunity. And it truly all stems back to incredible products. So I will pass it back over to you, Tina.
Thank you so much. I love sharing about this because how many of you have ever struggled to lose weight and you've tried everything that is known to mankind and you literally just can't seem to get the weight off? And that was me. That was me. I had already lost quite a bit of weight. So just so you know, overall, I've now lost 110 pounds, but I went from 158 to 135. Now we can update that slide with the daily health system. When I got to about 158 pounds, for reference, I'm 5'3". I was still very much considered overweight, but the scale was not moving. No matter what I did, I work out, I eat right, what I didn't realize was there was something else bigger going on. And so I want to share with you what was going on in my body and what was keeping me stuck in my weight. Because I know if I was feeling that and struggling with that, then so many others are too. So there's several things that come into play here. Did you know? I want to share some facts with you. Did you know that 94 million Americans are pre-diabetic and insulin resistant and they don't even know it? Did you know that? That is such a big, 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 big number. And then 34 million Americans are already a type 2 diabetic. Now, I don't know the statistics in other countries, but I'm sure they probably are close to the same. But here's the deal, guys. We eat such bad diets here and have such bad processed foods here in America that it really is everything working against us. It's really no wonder we're in the shape that we're in. And that is where I found myself. So while I had lost a great deal of weight, I was still very much stuck. And you can see in my before picture, I was still very inflamed, very puffy all over. The inflammation in my body was just unreal. But bigger than that, I started to have these episodes and I didn't know what it was or where it was coming from. But basically, what was happening to me was my I would start to feel shaky and clammy, and all I knew was I needed to get food as fast as I possibly could. I just had to get food in my body as fast as I possibly could. Now, fast forward a little bit. These would happen to me, I don't know, once a month maybe, and I just wasn't doing. How many of you aren't very good at taking care of yourself because you're so busy taking care of other people? Put a 3 in the chat. That was me, right? And so I never took myself to the doctor to go figure out what these were. I was just letting it all just, I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it later. Well, I get asked to come out to our corporate office and we're going to test a new product that's going to bring me to our daily health system. And so they start telling us about this system and about this product right here. And they start telling us how when we test this product, we could wear a continuous glucose monitor, and that monitor would give us in real time if this product was in fact working or not. We could get a measurable result with this product. So let me tell you what happened. So I go get my continuous glucose monitor. I'm sure you've seen people wearing them, the little thing on the back of their arm. And I'm getting my readings before I ever use the product, right? And what I find out is I was one of those 94 million Americans. My highs were almost 300. My lows were dipping to 40s. When I was having those episodes, it was when I was in my dip. My blood sugar was all over the map. I was terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, what has happened? What have I done to myself? Like all those years of yo-yo dieting and not taking care of myself had finally caught up to me. So I did go to the doctor. I was convinced they were going to tell me I was a full-blown type 2 diabetic, but I wasn't yet. I was one of the 94 million Americans that was insulin resistant and pre-diabetic, and I just had no idea. Here's the good news. There's hope. There's hope. And so what this pill does right here. This product was studied at a very prestigious university for 10 years, you guys, 10 years it was studied. And what the enzymologist found was a plant-based enzyme that converts carbs and sugars into soluble fiber in your gut before it hits your bloodstream. So follow me here for a moment. The way that our insulin works is that when we eat carbs and sugar, the insulin is then produced to help bring down the blood sugar. Well, what happens over time is we wear our pancreas out. Like we just wear it out. It doesn't know what to do anymore. And so we become insulin resistant. Okay. So when you take this 45 minutes to an hour before you eat any high carb, high sugar meal, what then happens is it's turning those carbs and sugar into soluble fiber in your gut before it hits your bloodstream. So instead of your blood sugar looking like this, your blood sugar is like this. It starts to regulate your blood sugar, right? So this was the first little miracle that introduced to my life. And then they said, but we're not done. How many of you have heard of the GLP-1 movement? I mean, you literally would have to be under a rock if you've not heard that term, right? How many of you have heard of GLP-1 or you've heard of Ozempic, Mounjaro, Tirzepatide? I'm probably saying these names all wrong, but you've heard of semaglutide. You've heard of all of this, right? Like there's catchy little commercials with it and all of that. Now, here's the thing. If you're on it, this isn't to judge you. I just want you to understand what it is. Because oftentimes when we go to a doctor, right, the doctor will write your script and say, here, this is what you need. You're like, okay, cool. And you go get it filled and you don't even know what it does or what it actually is. So let me explain what it is so that you'll understand the power of this and why, whether you're on the shot or not on the shot, that this system is a really great option for you. So those shots all have one thing in common. There's variations of them, but they all have one thing in common. They are a synthetic form of GLP-1. Now, GLP-1 is a hormone that you produce in your gut naturally, but as we age and over time, we don't produce as much of it. So, what does GLP-1 hormone do? When your GLP-1 hormone is elevated or you're giving yourself some synthetic version of it, it then sends a signal to your brain to quiet that food noise. You feel fuller faster, you feel fuller longer. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Like you go to your pantry, you're not hungry, you had dinner an hour ago, you're standing in your pantry and you're like, why am I standing here? I'm not even hungry. Like put a 4 in the chat if you know if I'm speaking your language, right? Because that was me. And so what GLP does is when it's activated, it quiets that food noise. Okay, it quiets that food noise. It makes you feel fuller faster and fuller longer. So that is why those shots have worked so well. Except here is the other side of that. Okay, is this, Aaron, can you fix that on the screen by any chance? Thank you. Is this anytime you inject anything synthetic into your body, it then sends a signal to your brain and says, oh, hey, we don't have to produce that anymore. We're getting plenty of it. Now, this doesn't come from me. This isn't something I made up. This is just science for those of you that like science, okay? Then what happens? What's the exit strategy? How do you come off of it? What happens when you come off of it? Well, I can tell you from the people that I've talked to that have experienced that, the food noise comes back with a vengeance because now their body's not producing any GLP-1 at all. And then not only do they gain back the weight that they lost, but then they gain more. And they're so frustrated and they're back on the crazy cycle of how do I fix my very broken body? So, whether you're on it or not, here's what I want you to know. You need this system in your life. Let me tell you what this does. This is going to naturally increase your GLP-1 hormone production. You guys, this is a plant-based, safe product that's going to naturally increase the GLP-1 hormone in your gut. It's also going to activate your AMPK. Now, when your AMPK is activated, it does so many incredible things. You can Google it or chat GPT it whenever we get off this Zoom. But when your AMPK is activated, it does two things specifically that I want to tell you about. The first one is you literally cannot store fat when your AMPK is activated. Like if that gets you excited, put a 5 in the chat. Like that was the only thing they had to tell me to put this on auto ship. That was it, that I wasn't going to store fat if I drank this. The other thing that happens is when your AMPK is activated, it then sends a signal to your brain for your body to burn fat for fuel, specifically targeting your midsection, that visceral fat that is the most dangerous fat on your body. Now, how many of you have your little spare tire hanging out around your waist and you just so desperately want it to go away forever? Put a 6 in the chat, right? Like I feel you. That's where I was too. You can see it in the picture right here. Just look at the picture. I've got the little pudge happening here, right? I'm kind of hanging over the pants a little bit here. I'm inflamed throughout my body. The third thing that this product does It's got ingredients in it that are going to also help lower your cortisol levels. Friends, if you don't know this, when your cortisol is high, that is going to make your body susceptible to inflammation. All disease, say this with me, all disease is born from inflammation in the body, okay? And when you can pull the inflammation, as you can see in these pictures of me right here, it just stripped the inflammation off of my body. So now I'm handling the blood sugar problem, which, by the way, is completely under control now. If that gets you excited, let me know. Put a 7 in the chat because I certainly feel grateful that it's under control. And I am getting my AMPK activated, my GLP-1 hormone production up, and I'm lowering my cortisol levels, guys. This right here is just so incredible. But that isn't all. I would be a terrible friend and a terrible host to you if I did not tell you about this right here. And I'm going to show you a little demonstration with this. If you don't mind pulling me back up on the screen, just me for just a second, Nicolette, so that I can show them this demonstration. Thank you so much. One of the things that most people aren't aware of is that most of their issues come from their gut. So let me ask you a question. If anything that I say is you, just say that's me in the chat. Do you struggle to sleep at night? Do you struggle with issues with your skin? Do you struggle with mental health issues? Do you have any autoimmune issues? Do you have issues going to the bathroom either way, whether too much or not enough? If you suffer from any of those issues, put that's me in the chat because that was me. How many of you have had your gallbladder removed? Let me know. Put an 8 in the chat if you've had your gallbladder removed. I had my gallbladder removed in 2021 in an emergency surgery, and I had no idea what life was going to be like without a gallbladder. But here is what I can tell you happened. I had to know where every restroom was anytime I went out to eat. And I know that's a little TMI, but I just want you to know the whole truth here, okay? And so it was just bad. It was really, really bad. What I didn't understand was that my gut and your brain are connected through the vagus nerve. And if your gut health is off, my friend, everything in your life is going to be off. You are going to struggle with mental health. You are going to struggle with sleep. You're going to struggle with bathroom issues, autoimmune issues. The list goes on and on. Actually, statistically, it is proven if you take 2 rounds of antibiotics in a 12-month period, you're 40 times more likely to suffer from anxiety and depression. Did you know that? And did you know there's a solution? Let me tell you about the solution. This, my friends, is called Enrich. This is our digestive enzyme with our pre and a probiotic. Now, what sets this apart from anything else you can get out there on the market? Let me tell you. Remember I told you I had my gallbladder removed and they said, listen, for the rest of your life, you're going to have to take a digestive enzyme. So I did what most people do. And I just went out there to the store and I bought me a digestive enzyme off the shelf. It never did anything life-changing for me. I just was doing what the doctor told me to do. Then I found this. This breaks down the fats, the carbs, the sugars, and the proteins that you eat so that your body absorbs what it needs and gets rid of what it doesn't. It's also got a pre and a probiotic in it. So it's going to help get your microbiome back in check. So not only, I want you to think about your gut. Like, have you ever seen an old pipe that's just filled with muck and yuck? Like, put yes in the chat if you know what I'm like. You've seen an old yucky pipe and you're like, yes. Friends, that is what your gut looks like. I know. You're like, well, dang it. Now what? That is what your gut looks like. Why? From years and years and years and years and years of unintentional or intentional abuse, right? And the only way to get it cleaned out is to use a good supplement because here's what most people don't know. Let me show you a fun little trick so that you can see for yourself what I'm talking about. So all I'm going to do is use this pudding pack, okay? Hadn't been opened yet, just a snack pack pudding pack. And I'm going to show you a fun little demonstration of how this product works because most of the food that you're eating is dead food. As you can see, it's just lumpy, dumpy pudding, okay? Most of what you eat is just dead food, meaning there are no living enzymes in it to break it down so that your body can get from it what it needs and get rid of what it doesn't. So I'm just going to dump a couple of these in here really quickly, and we're going to stir it while we talk. Now, what happens if you don't have the enzymes in your stomach to help you break down what it is happening in your body? As you can see there, we just dump the capsules in. Let's stir while we chat. your body just kind of gets this film of yuck and muck. And then all of a sudden, your skin's breaking out. Your mental health isn't so well. You start to develop autoimmune issues. You start to develop bathroom issues, tummy issues. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where your tummy's grumbly and you're like, ooh, like just constant pain. Like, how many of you know what I'm talking about? Like, how many of you know what I'm talking about? That's because your gut health is a mess. I would be a terrible friend if I did not tell you about this because there isn't anyone I ever talk to ever that I don't tell that they don't need this. Statistically, it's proven 8 out of 10 people have poor gut health. Now, my friend, who's a doctor, told me it's more like 9 out of 10 people these days because it's gotten so bad. But not think about that. 9 out of 10 people that you know need this product. 9 out of 10 people that you know need this product. Now, as you can see, I did not stir this for very long at all, just while we sat here and talked for just a second. But I want to show you how much it's already broken this down, okay? Just in those few seconds that I chatted with you. It liquefies it. And here's what's crazy. As we sit here and talk, this will continue to become a water-like consistency. Now you may be thinking to yourself, ma'am, that's all fine and good, but I don't need anything liquefied in my life. I've already got that issue. Guess what? It's going to help you too. That was my issue. That was my issue. Now I don't have the stomach pains when I go eat my favorite Mexican restaurant, and I don't have to know where the nearest bathroom is anymore. And it's cleaned up my gut health. My skin is clearer than it's ever been. Have you ever been in your 40s and suddenly you're breaking out like a teenage boy and you don't know why? It's your gut health. It's your gut health, right? So, all that to say, these 3 products right here are my staples that I simply will not go a day without. And what's really, really cool is thousands of people submitted their products for this prestigious Stevie Award, and the Daily Health System won it. Why should that matter to you? Because our product does what we're telling you it does, or it wouldn't have won that award. Nicolette, back to you.
All right, I'm gonna screen share again back here. How, who is excited about those supplements? Are you joking me? Like, just to get your hands on them. I mean, this is life-changing stuff here, obviously. Oh, Tina, really quick, do you want to tell them about
Yeah,
this?
I forgot I was doing this part. Ooh, I got to get my cheat sheet out for this one. So we've got 3 brand new products launching soon, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So here's what I can tell you. I'm under NDA. So like the screen says, it's super confidential, but there are 3 products launching. So I'm going to give you 2 little hints. And let's play a fun game. Why don't we play a fun game? How many of you like fun games? Put a 9 in the chat if you like to play games, okay? I'm going to say 2 of the things that I'm allowed to say, and I want you in the chat to try to guess what each product is. Would that be fun? Let's do that, okay? So the first one, it's, pay attention closely, it's your power upgrade. Help tackling whatever life throws at you. I'm going to give you one more. An everyday fuel. That's product number 1. That's product number 1. I'm not going to tell you if you get it right, but have fun guessing in the chat there, okay? Have fun guessing, okay? The next one, are you ready? Get ready for a crystal clear game changer. Clean, crisp, and ready to fuel your day. And I'll give you one more because it's a good one. The fruity refreshment your taste buds have been waiting for. Well, what do you guys think it is? Okay. And then the last one. I will say this one is going to be a category disruptor. This one is going and this one's just for the girls. Sorry, fellas, but here's the good news, guys. You're going to want your girls to have this one, okay? So this one's for the girls. Are you ready? It's first in a new category of products. It's very buzzworthy and hot topic right now. I think what was the award show? I think it was maybe the Golden Globes. I don't know because I don't watch award shows, but whichever one it was the number two thing talked about in commercials. That's all I can tell you on that. And it's something she needs and a must have for self-care with clean ingredients cleanse. That is what I have to say about our new product. So here's the deal. We're going to be launching these at our convention in March on the 14th and the 15th. We're going to be launching all three of these. Here's what I can tell you. I was blessed to get to be a tester for these, and holy macadamia nuts, you guys. All of them are amazing. Two of them, I can tell you, are a drink. You drink them and they taste incredible, absolutely incredible. And one of them is pill form, and it just makes me a nicer human. So there's your sneak peeks into that. Let me know what your guesses are in the chat, and Nicolette will finish this thing off for us.
Oh my gosh, I am just so excited. Guys, that is such a huge deal. Okay, so give it up for Tina, give it up for the products. That all, it's like, we already know, we want to get our hands on this stuff, right? Now, this is working for people. If you can think of anyone, put a fire emoji in the chat as I kind of breeze through these. Is this something you can relate to, or someone that you know can relate to when you're thinking about these products that were explained so far, or thinking about people who might struggle with weight loss, who feel bloated and sluggish, who are pre-diabetic or diabetic, who have chronic inflammation, they want to feel better, who have persistent exhaustion, metabolism changes after 35, hormonal issues, mood swings, weight gain, aiming to look and feel younger, anxiety, brain fog, thinning hair, dull skin concerns, reliance on caffeine, yet feeling fatigued. Like, the chat is literally on fire, right? That's amazing because we have a solution. And wouldn't you feel convicted as a human being to offer friends and family a solution that you know works? That's what we do, right? Health and wellness is a booming industry, and it isn't going anywhere. People are constantly, actively looking for solutions. And now more than ever, guess where they find them? That word of mouth marketing. That's where we go and all find our fan favorites, who's using what, and do they like it? And let me see it in real life, in action. We naturally recommend what we love, whether we get paid for it or not. You might as well be the one who's set up to monetize those recommendations. And you might be thinking, okay, Nicolette, this is great. This is wonderful, but you don't understand. I am so unqualified. I am not good at social media. I don't do technology. I'm not a salesperson, all the things. And here's where I want to clue you in on the tools and systems that we have to help you seamlessly get started, even with no experience. Even if there's a big learning curve, we can teach you how to turn your everyday social media into a stream of income, and you don't have to be an influencer. In fact, we have an all-new blueprint exclusive to our team for new associates to help you launch fast and furious, no matter what your experience level is, and you get access to that. So listen, would you agree that even if you, brand new, day one, if you had access to countless testimonials and stories and pictures from real life relatable people and impressive product information guides that you can easily share, do you think that getting out there and talking about this would feel pretty good and pretty simple? Throw a yes in the chat if done for you social proof and done for you scientific explanation and a nice product kit would get you pumped to get out there and launch your business. And oh, what if you also had 30 days of social media done for you and a team that is just a river of support and relevant tips to help you grow, conversation guides to help you see how easy it is to get out there and just chit chat about products that are working, and just a whole slew of people. Look at all these people on the Zoom who want to see you win in your health and your wealth. That is what you're plugging into. Tools, training, support, the testimonial group, the business app, and none of it costs extra. It is just here for you. So not only will you be able to start this business for less than 25 bucks this month for the associate fee that is slashed right now in February, but there's no inventory, there's no overhead. You basically get this university and your long lost sorority sisters and frat brothers that you never knew right here when you join. So if you have a Wi-Fi signal, that is basically all you need to qualify to start growing your business. Let's talk about income. So one of the ways that we get paid is commissions. This is paid every week, which is great because you can build up some nice commission checks hitting the bank every Friday. And these stack. You're going to earn $7 or $10 per product sold. If somebody just gets your link and goes wild in there and adds a bunch of stuff to cart, you get paid on every single product in the cart or in the bundle. And that's the same if they order from you today or 10 years from now, right? You continue to earn that 7 to 10 per product on your customer orders. We do also have an insane bonus structure that helps you start earning quickly, right? So what would an extra $5,000 in your first 5 months do for your household? Tranont has these fast-paced bonuses available so you can start making that meaningful income right out of the gate. In fact, we have a builder bonus that is amazing, and you can earn up to $20,000 in your first 9 months, and that is paced out for you. And you might think like, well, that is an amazing number, but probably not something that I could do. Do not disqualify yourself. It is very doable. We're seeing associates start to scoop this up all the time, and it is so exciting. Of course, it takes effort, but that's why we put so much into developing these amazing systems, because we want to watch everyone win. Now, here's my favorite part. This is called base pay. This is where the serious wealth happens. It's your your scalable monthly salary. And I just think this is the most glorious compensation plan that I've ever laid eyes on. Each rank represents a volume level. And then when you've achieved that volume level, you get that monthly bonus paid out to you. As your team grows, your income becomes predictable and continues to scale. So this is how you get that income that is not directly tied to your sacrifice of time, which is so important. And now more than ever in this digital age that we're in, it's so doable. Now you can see it starts our lowest level. It starts at 250 at Jade, and it goes all the way up to 300,000. And even the mid levels right here, where you start to see that meaningful part-time income. Anything beyond that, you're looking at 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. It goes all the way up to, like I said, 300,000. And so then what's this column over here? Jeep stipend, a Jeep bonus. Yes, they will also start adding to your paycheck at our lowest level of Jade, $350 a month to go towards your Jeep, right? So we are seeing, I think we've had half a dozen just on our team, half a dozen associates go out and get a new Jeep just in the last couple of months. So type Jeep in the chat if Tranont is currently paying for your Jeep. Like, that is just such an awesome way to be able to take some financial pressure, right? Like a car payment, or maybe you need a new car, but you can't really get it at the moment. This is going to take that stress away from your family. So all you need to get your Jeep is your first 2 associates and then $1,300 in your base pay. And you're going to be qualified to start getting your Jeep stipend in addition to that base pay, which is so awesome. Now, I love this visual right here on the next slide. This just shows how all of the ways that you can earn stack up together. So you can build something really exciting right out of the gate, okay? Everything stacks up. You don't have to choose a path, and if you get this, you can't have that. You can have it all, and it all adds up. So I want to introduce you to my good friend, Amber Collins. I've been blessed to know her and adore her and work with her for years now. She is a Ruby leader on our team, and just overall, she's very, very impressive in this industry. But don't let that online success fool you, because she is just the most amazing homesteading, farm life, homeschooling mama. And there's so much I admire about her. So Amber, where are you? Tell us your story.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. So yeah, my name's Amber Collins. I am from a super small town in East Tennessee. And I am a homeschool mom, homesteading mom, stay-at-home mom, chicken keeper, gardener, canner, really just trying to grow and raise and provide as much for my family as we can right here on this farm. And I have been pretty successful in this industry. And I think that it's crazy. I was just telling someone today that if you saw me at the grocery store, like in person, I would turn and go the other way in order to avoid having to say hi to you and have small talk because I am terribly introverted. Yet I have like just blossomed into this person who gets to share her life on social media, and I love it. So I am going to tell you guys quite the story. I'm going to try to get through this without tears. I feel like I cry every time I talk about this. So I'm going to kind of set the stage for you a little bit. I have been in the network marketing industry for about 5 years. 5 years ago, I was a full-time working mama, dreaming of being a stay-at-home mom, dreaming of living out that farm life. But my job, we were a two-income family. I had to work. That was just our reality. My job was getting the best of me. My family was getting the little bits and pieces that were left over. I had no time for the things that brought me joy. And I just decided to kick off my network marketing career in 2020 when it seemed like this industry was exploding. And just after a year and a half, even as someone who had had no experience, knew nothing about content, nothing about sharing in stories, nothing about creating reels, after just a year and a half in this industry, I was able to retire myself and come home to start building my dream life. So that was in 2021. So I built a beautiful career in another network marketing company, and we started our homestead dreams, all the things. And in October, this is where there's a big plot twist. In October of 2024, so just a few months ago, the company that I had worked for released a statement saying that they were changing their business model, and my opportunity to earn the substantial income that I was earning from my phone, to be able to stay home and build this dream life, was being taken away. And it was completely out of my control. And my world started to fall apart because there was something huge going on in our family behind the scenes that nobody knew about but me and my husband. And we've all been there. Like, really, raise your hand if there's something going on in your life behind the scenes right now that that people don't know about, that you're just carrying with you. Um, so let me tell you what was happening in March. So just a few months prior to hearing about my job basically ending, I had started feeling the desire to have another baby. And most of you are like, okay, that's great. Let's just have another baby. But it wasn't like that for us because my husband had had a vasectomy 5 years earlier. You guys are probably like, wow, this is getting real personal on here. But just wait, it's all going to be worth it. So 5 years before that, my husband had had a vasectomy. And so I did what all wives do. And I went to my husband with my big puppy eyes and my, you promised to love and cherish and honor and take care of me and answer my every second call, and said, I want to have another baby. And he looked at me and said, no, no, absolutely not. We're not doing that. He had zero desire to do that. And so we just agreed that we would pray together about it and that we would pray for God to align our hearts. And so 5 months later, in August, he's laying beside me in bed one night and he says, babe, you're not going to believe this, but God's changed my heart. And I think that he is wanting to bless our family with another baby. So just to lighten the mood a little bit and to make it funny, I've been told so many times that any woman who can convince a man to have, cut on 2 times, should be like a governor or something, like run for president if you can convince a man to do that. So yeah, here we are, we're laying in bed. I'm sobbing like a baby. And my heart is just filled with so much joy. So we start to do our research, we find a doctor, we pick a date, and then we get the bill. And if you've never looked into that, let me just tell you, it's a pretty hefty bill. We were looking at about $10,000 to have his surgery reversed. Had to be paid in full before the surgery, of course. And so I felt sure that I could do that because I had this network marketing business that was going great and it was going good. So you can imagine how my world fell apart on October 1st when I heard that that was being taken away. Nobody knew about it. It was just like private in our family. We had really just taken it to God and given it to Him, and um, it my world shattered. So about that time, I started throwing my hands up in the air and asking God, why in the world would you finally align our hearts just to take my job away and to take away the way we were going to provide this for our family? And then a door opened, and it was Trinont. So I'm pulling myself up off the floor, scared of starting over, scared of rebranding, scared of rebuilding, scared of the unknown, but absolutely unable to fight the feeling that God was basically pulling me through the door, whether I wanted to go or not. And so on October 6th, I enrolled as an associate. Started plugging into absolutely everything I could get my hands on, every training, every mentoring opportunity. I started putting myself in the room, showing up on the calls, and making myself be known. And I just didn't stop. Okay. So, just to recap these dates for you, October 1st, my world ended. My opportunity for that baby I had been praying for almost a year was taken away. October 6th, I enrolled as an associate with Trinont. On December the 12th, I checked my bonuses for the month, and me and my husband had earned $12,500. And his reversal surgery was the next day on December the 13th. So while I'm questioning what in the world God's doing here and throwing my hands up in the air, he was it was all in his plan, and he was closing one door to open another. So if you feel like this opportunity keeps popping up for you, or you keep seeing it on social media and you've been invited to this call tonight, and you feel that little nudge inside of you that starts to build, I want you to consider that it might be God, and it might be a door that He's opening for you, and you won't know until you go through it. And I will share my testimony and my story about this business and what God provided for my family in this business for the rest of my life. And it's not over for us yet. You know, I thought that the surgery would be like a wham, bam, here's your baby. And it's proven to be a little bit more difficult than that. But God has given me an avenue to provide financially for whatever that need is going to be with this business. And had I stayed laying on the floor with my hands up in the air asking God why, I would have never known it. So that's my story. I've only been here for 5 months, but it's the best space that I've been in this industry. And I think it's just really powerful to be surrounded by men and women who, you know, share a love for God like I do.
Gosh, Amber, your story is so incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. You've got so many prayers going up for you and your family. And I mean, I have no doubts what's coming for you guys is just going to be absolutely amazing because they're literally the best family. They are incredible. So as you all can see, like this isn't just a business, right? This is so much more than that. Even the energy in the chat right now, like give it up for Amber. Like you guys just showing up in the chat, all these friendly faces on Zoom. This is a powerhouse community. It's more than just a business. It's a movement. It's energy. It's passion. It's transformation. It's growth. It's celebration. And it's about people, not just profit, right? We get to change lives through health supplements, financial opportunity, friendship, mentorship. And the culture here is unlike anything that you'll experience anywhere else. And we get to travel together. Trinont offers all kinds of exciting events like our Provo convention coming up next month. Blow up the chat if we're going to see each other there. We're so excited. Also, tropical getaways, all kinds of things. And listen, you are never going to long to see a friendly face or have a friendly chat with somebody because, like I said before, this team is just a river of ongoing support that you can plug into. Now, I'm sure at this point, you're probably like, how do we sign up? Let's just sign up. How do we sign up? What are the packages? Okay. You're looking at the 3 enrollment bundles. The starter bundle in the middle is the main health system trio. This is what Tina had talked about. It's only $225, which is a $93 savings this month only. It's got your Activate, your Transform, and your Enrich, okay? And then there's the builder bundle, which is, these are all of the supplements that I fell in love with first. Like, these were my gateway supplements, my first loves, and they're all just so stinking good. This one is $425 US. Yes, thank you. $97 off in February only. So there are associate bundles. This discount ends the end of February. And then there is the elite bundle for those of you who are all or nothing people like me and you want to get your hands on as much stuff as possible, right? You want to be able to try what's going to be in your new online supplement shop. This one is $999 and it comes with a free convention ticket. There is no associate fee with it. And listen to this little life hack. We earn group volume on our own orders. So you get a hefty 500 in group volume, boosting up your first base pay level of Jade, which is only 1,300 in group volume, right? So that elite bundle is 500 in volume. The builder bundle is 200 and the starter is 100. So I'm going to tell you my mistake. I started with the starter bundle because I was like feeling a little skeptical and a little cheap that day. But then I went back and I bought pretty much everything you see on this screen and just paid shipping like 20 times more than I had to. So don't be like me. Don't be afraid to invest in your health and get your hands on the products that will help you look good, feel good. And obviously, the more you use and share, the more leverage you have to start growing your business and talking about the products right out of the gate. Somebody was asking about payment plans. I do believe there are. You just go through your own payment plan app, whether that's Zip or Affirm or whichever one, and then get your card, and then you can, boop, just use that card to get your bundle. So that's a little food for thought. Let me give you a little more food for thought right here. Let's just compare what it would look like if you were like, you know what, this is great, but I'm going to go start my own business. I got this. Like, I'm not going to be a part of this thing. Look at how much it would cost. Website setup and hosting, right? That's included with what we have here. E-commerce back office setup, drop shipping and inventory management, expert level training for growth, marketing and branding. All of that is included with what you get when you sign up as an associate. And then product development, formulation, product manufacturing, testing, packaging, distribution, legal and compliance, customer service, order fulfillment. All of that is handled by Trinont. So all of this is included in these bundles. So listen, here's what we need to, and there are no monthly fees. There are no monthly fees. Like, how crazy is that? It's $99 a year to have your associate business typically, but you guys are getting that slashed because all of our enrollment bundles are on sale. Like, that is just wild, right? So here's what I want you to do right now before we do this giveaway. Run to the person who invited you to this call. Run and tell them your favorite parts and demand the link to get signed up. I demand the link immediately. Give me the enrollment bundles. I want to go look and I'm ready to get set up. Message them, literally pick up your phone right now and message them. It's not too late. We're all still up. Send them a message. You guys, thank you so much for being on this call. Do not forget, check back in with the person who invited you. This is a massive opportunity we have right here for your health and your wealth. Like, it is the Health Wealth Lotto. And we thank you so much for being on. We cannot wait to see you inside the team so soon. Have a good night.